All right, get ready to turn those clocks forward, lose an hour of sleep. It's almost spring and daylight saving time begins this weekend. But as we prepare to spring forward, sleep experts say that lost hour, it can do more than just make us feel tired and a little disoriented. They warn that seasonal clock changes can disrupt our body's natural rhythms and may even raise safety concerns. Joining us now to talk about the health impacts and why some experts want this whole mess to end altogether is Dr. Ashtaad Dalal, spokesperson for the American Academy of Sleep Medicine and clinical instructor at Georgetown University School of Medicine. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, let's start with this. From your perspective as an expert here, a sleep medicine perspective, what actually happens to our bodies when all of a sudden we're getting up or we're falling asleep or whatever it is earlier, an hour earlier?
Sure, absolutely. First, I wanted to kind of clarify some of the basics, right? So, in the spring, we spring forward into daylight saving time and lose an hour of sleep.
Mhm.
In the fall, we fall back into standard time and gain an hour. So, right now, we're in standard time and we'll be moving into daylight saving time on Sunday. So there's often confusion about this, but the more disruptive shift for sure is the one in the spring when we move into daylight saving time. And absolutely, right, there's no doubt twice yearly clock change disrupts sleep, circadian rhythms, and it's a concern for public safety and health. Actually, in 2025, there was a Gallup poll that showed that a majority of Americans, 54%, want to eliminate the time change. So the question is not whether to stop switching. The question is, do we choose permanent daylight saving time or permanent
Mm.
standard time? From a
Well,
medical
mhm.
perspective, no doubt permanent standard time is the clear choice that's supported by research and evidence. Last year, President Trump reignited this whole public conversation about ending seasonal time changes, citing inconvenience and cost as the main factors, and most recently stated public support for adopting permanent daylight saving time. Given the timing and opportunity, it's more important now than ever to follow the research and evidence and save standard time. There's actually also historical proof for this. In 1974, the US actually implemented permanent daylight saving
Hmm.
time during the energy crisis,
Mm-hmm.
and it ended up lasting less than a year. The primary reason to repeal it was dark winter mornings, resulting in an increase in deaths among children who were going to school in the dark.
Oh. Now, so you hit on it right there, but just to be clear, those in your field believe permanent standard time would be healthier, right? The main reason here?
Absolutely. Standard time aligns our internal clocks with natural light dark cycle. We know morning sunlight is the most important regulator of our circadian rhythm, sets alertness, hormone release, mood stability, and metabolic function. So, some people will argue the sun would rise too early in the summer under standard time, but early summer sunrises are biologically beneficial, not harmful.
Mm-hmm.
Morning light strengthens our circadian rhythm, improves sleep quality, and darkness in the morning is what actually disrupts human biology.
We just feel better.
Permanent
We just feel, let's be honest, like when I see the sunlight and I can wait, I just feel better. Before we run out of time, for people who are watching who already struggle with sleep, so we here on our morning show, we're in the office at 3 in the morning. So for those of us who already have weird sleep schedules, we struggle with sleep. What are 2 or 3 simple steps, doctor, that we can do to make this transition while we are flipping back and forth a little easier?
Absolutely. And I'm happy to share tips and strategies, but I wanted to mention
Mhm.
kind of the health impacts that
Sure.
you mentioned, right? So, after the shift to daylight saving time, research shows that there are an increase in people having heart attacks, strokes, increased hospital admissions, increased production of inflammatory markers in the body, increased workplace errors, and an increase in motor vehicle accidents, actually up to a 6% increase in traffic fatalities in the days following the springtime change. So this isn't theoretical, these are actual measures of public health effects.
Right.
In terms of kind of tips and strategies that can help as we get used to this time change and springing forward, one big thing is shifting your bedtime and wake time about 15 to 20 minutes earlier for a few nights beforehand. So when Sunday rolls around, you've already accounted for that hour that's lost. making sure adults are getting a minimum of 7 hours of sleep, children are getting age appropriate sleep, and having that consistency with the sleep wake schedule. That is critical to everyone's sleep and sleep quality. Moving mealtime slightly earlier, leading up to the time change, can help to try and reset the body clock. Setting the clocks ahead Sunday evening, leading up to the time change, can help so that when you wake up the next morning, there's not even more confusion. And then the week after the time change, going outside, getting some bright sunlight. Like I said, there's no better way to reset our circadian rhythm than getting that bright morning sunlight.
Dr. Dalal, thank you so much for joining us. Really important tips as we head into this weekend's time change. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And Dr. Dalal is a spokesperson for the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. Again, appreciate it.